Hello, and welcome back to We're Rooting for You, the one and only top model podcast for all you potletum lovers out there. I am Gambit Magazine TV contributing editor Mark Bupard, joined with my trusty sidekick Samir.
Hi, it's me, Samir, also a contributing editor for television on Gambit Magazine.
And film.
And film, occasionally film, many times film, but mostly drag race and top model related musings.
Nowadays. So, we're going to talk a little bit about The Guy Who Acts a Fool, which it's kind of hard to pick out who the fool was at the very beginning because all of the dudes this cycle are fools. Like, they just seem all kind of just like goofy and annoying. And
But I feel like the one who's most obviously like the fool is Devin. Like more than anyone else, he's like.
I feel like him and Mikey are almost in a dead heat though. But
well, Mikey's just because of his like exceptionally creepy look.
I don't know if that makes him look like a fool.
I don't know, but I feel like Devin is clearly like the biggest like doofus of all these doofuses. I mean, Niall not included there.
Oh no, I don't include Niall at all. I'm talking about like say just between Beyo,
Bejo, or J Smooth, or
J Smooth, aka Justin,
or
Mikey, and Devin. Those fools, because they're all a bunch of fools. And they will slowly be eliminated one by one because I really don't.
I don't see
it's
any
just
of
a
them.
matter. I don't understand how they. I don't get it.
Like,
I mean, it's not like this. Neither of the challenges on this episode highlighted any particular strong suit or skill of theirs, which happened to be this episode focused a lot around acting. So, fool can be kind of applied in a couple different ways in this episode, wouldn't you say?
not in the flattering way, like
Never
they're actually
flattering.
like the Elizabethan fool who is like the only one who sees everything for what it is and can only get away with saying so because he cloaks it with his foolish behavior and his comic, antics, and like you can get away with it because you're funny, but Devin's funny because he's ridiculous.
Right. In a sense, though, the Victorian fool that you just described is a little bit like Niall because, like, at least once an episode, he, like, drops an Opofoam truth bomb on everyone.
Oh my God, I know, right?
And just, like, renders everyone speechless because they're like, wow, no, Niall makes me, like, appreciate, like, what I'm doing and how I'm here and, like, how I shouldn't focus on the drama. And then they go and get into a fight, like, 5 minutes later.
Yeah.
But he at least diffuses a small bomb at least once an episode, which is a pretty impressive job.
But yeah, what was it this episode? What was the particular moment this time around?
I guess he was when they had the sign and dine dinner and he was talking about Devin.
Oh yes, that was it. Where he
and
was
he
like,
said that he's trying to
like
communicate
Devin
with
is
me.
trying to communicate with me, but like always, it's just gibberish.
And we're like, it's like that even if you could hear him. So you're good job.
Like he was saying, like even when he's trying to sign, even when he learns to sign, is like gibberish. Like he learns to sign, he's still Devin, even in another language.
Well, that's how he would want you to say it. So you fell into the Devin trap. I feel like he just. It's not that I don't think that he cares. I just don't. I think it's like in one ear and out the other. He's just like, yeah, whatever, it's fine. And I guess that is just being Devin. But
like his brain is Teflon. Everything just slides
in one ear,
off
out
of
the
it.
other. Just like,
It never
cannot
sticks.
stick. Yeah. And he's been in this industry since he was 15 years old, so maybe that has
He
something
lost
to do
his
with it.
virginity in this industry, Margot.
Oh my
I mean, that is like real commitment. Like you had to pledge that to the world of modeling if you expect to be signed by 6 agencies internationally.
If you
and
don't lose
somehow
your
not
virginity.
work. That is mandatory.
Oh my
It's
God.
an unspoken contract that no model knows until it's like Fight Club. Modeling is like Fight Club. Actually, it kind of is.
At least in this house.
Somehow, it just that metaphor actually makes sense with this show,
Oh my God.
or at least his vision of modeling, as it were. I'm like, what happened to you?
Well, if he really has been doing some sort of modeling since he was 15, probably not a lot of great stuff. I'm just going to go out on a limb and say that.
There's a lot of catalog work in there.
I'm sure he got singered somewhere in there as well.
But, it would be like catalogs for, like, the the kinds of businesses whose products are sold by door-to-door salespeople.
Yeah, or like the stuff that ends up in your recycling
Like
bin
a
'cause
vacuum
it's
catalog.
just junk mail. Junk mail, like coupon junk mail.
Like maybe he's pushing the Dyson around when the door-to-door salesman comes by to sell it. You know what I mean? Like he's the guy in the ad that's doing that. Like it's not like any kind of like, oh, I was in Italian Vogue.
Oh God, no! You know that's not in his lookbook.
Whatever you call it.
Whatever, the binder full of pictures that you guys carry around at Go Sees.
I always wonder if these people actually do take these photographs from Top Model with them as a portfolio when they leave. Because it's like, it's nice to have a Sorry. It's nice to have a portfolio, but it's also not nice to have the words ANTM somehow attached to those photos that you're going to bring around with you all over the industry. Like, this is my portfolio.
Do you think all of their photos are watermarked Top Model on the bottom?
No, but I mean, like, everybody in the industry has to know where this person came from. Like, oh, now I remember where I saw that photo.
Yeah, I feel like that's probably true. But some of the
Hadassah's
pictures are actually really not that bad.
Not that bad, but, like, I mean, Hadassah's not going to use that out of focus picture.
Jesus Christ. I would just burn it. I would light it on fire and tape it to a pile of dog shit and leave it on his doorstep and ring the doorbell and run away. Yeah. Thank you to our stealthy We Were Rooting For You fan, Micah McAllister, who tweeted at me yesterday and made Samir and I's day and told us that he listened to the show and that the only reason why Eric Osla is employed by Tyra Banks is because Tyra Banks is also sleeping with him. So we shouldn't be...
It makes so much sense.
I feel like it all kind of just comes together. It's like a puzzle. That was like the missing piece to what we needed to know. It's like
I just like snapped out of awareness during sleep paralysis and I can breathe again. There's not some weird entity pressing down on me anymore.
Or it just feels like we just got LASIK surgery and we will never need our glasses ever again and everything's in focus now.
I just don't know if I can trust LASIK surgery. Unless it was offered to me free, I don't know that I'd try it.
I wouldn't after the horror story that I was told recently about a mutual friend who had LASIK and his left eye didn't heal right and he had to go get it recut open again, but he had to like walk around with an eye patch and he was just like sick and couldn't see
I'm out.
Yeah, he's like, it really can turn against you.
I'm fine with glasses. They make me look thin.
I'm totally fine with it as well. It's
You
fine,
don't need them to make you look thin.
No, but I like wearing my glasses. It also helps me see.
I do like being able to wear sunglasses.
But it's just like having that focus kind of come all together and you're like, wow, this paints a really full picture for me. You are banging Tyra. Like that does it, yeah. Or else, why else would you be here? How else would you be able to get work? How else could your visa stay valid?
Well, maybe he's a U.S. citizen. He just didn't lose the accent when he became a citizen.
I don't buy that.
Hey, it's possible my dad didn't lose his accent.
No, I don't. It's not the accent thing. I just don't believe that he's actually a citizen here.
Oh, well, you never know. I'm not really that invested enough to like go search into his immigration status. I don't really care. Like, you know,
nobody should at all ever.
What's important?
It is not important whatsoever.
He's taking awful photographs for this marvelous show.
At least
sometimes they're good. Sometimes they are good, but most of the time they're pretty embarrassing.
I feel like when the camera does so much work for you, when you fuck up on that high of a level, I just cannot respect you. So him shooting this commercial for their mega challenge this week, or I'm sorry, maxi challenge this week.
Is that what they're calling it on this show
No,
too?
but we've been going by...
maxi challenge. It's
we've been going by Drag Race rules lately. We just keep calling the first challenge a mini challenge every fucking week, and I just...
But they never have a name for it anyways. It's just it's the mini challenge. It's just a literal descriptor.
It's mini challenge of the bigger picture, what we'll see.
I mean, it was a pretty epic mini challenge this time, though.
It was.
I wonder if they get paid for that walk-on roll, but the challenge was...
That's actually a good question, and I feel like they probably don't.
It's all part of the contract of the show. You were paid by the chance to win.
Yeah, pretty much. But Congrats. I was just cringing, though, when they were shooting, like, the Maxi Challenge commercial, and Eric Oslo was directing it a little bit, and I was like, oh my god, someone take the camera away from him. He can't even focus a still image, let alone find
a moving image.
Rack focus for a moving image. I'm terrified that this entire commercial is going to come out blurry.
Well, the focus turned out not to be the problem. It was the lighting entirely. I was like, every single shot is them standing in front of the sun. I'm like, but you realize now I can't see their face.
It's like somebody just watched Star Trek over the weekend. They're like, I really like lens flare now. Everybody was super blown out.
You can get a lens flare and have people's faces lit so we can see them. Like, you can do both. It's possible.
But the interesting thing was noticing how it got kind of... You could tell what time of day people shot their commercials.
Oh, yeah.
Like, Lacey and Devin clearly went first, because theirs actually looked the best, because, like, the exposure was actually correct.
And Lacey just looked amazing on camera, period.
And that's what I mean about, like, using that still photo, because when they pulled the still from that video, and they put it up on the screen when she won... I thought that was actually a really great photo, like, that she could totally use to book a job.
That could be an ad for, like, anything.
It's a great beauty shot. Anyway, let's start with their mega mini challenge that we got to see.
Their mega mini challenge, because it was pretty... Yes, they got to... This is the time when they get to meet the CW executive woman.
The casting executive. And it comes about around this time, every cycle since they've been on the CW, they get to meet... with this casting woman and act out a scene that's usually very questionable, like where it came from.
And this one is perhaps the most questionable ever.
It was definitely... You were being really nice when you said poor man Shakespeare, but I really can't get over that analogy because it's really true. It's just like, it's that person whoever wrote it, saw this episode right before.
Race. And they're like, that's a great idea for top model.
And so I'll do it. And it ended up being about bestiality. And we can get there in a second. But since they've been on the CW, they have the remaining model testants pair off and act out a scene together for some CW executives and then the main casting director. And
the winner gets to walk-on role in some CW series.
Yes. So this week they got paired up. Who got to pick first? Was it Niall because he just won?
I don't know. Did he get... whoever... I would assume he did, because he picked Lacey. You clearly... It's either Lacey or Monet are your first choices in this show if you're going to pick a female partner.
And honestly, they're pretty much the three. I feel like they know to kind of stick around each other a little bit. Well,
power is the senior power. It's kind of like tennis. If you play with someone below your level, it brings your level down. Mm-hmm. So if you're like in modeling, if you model with someone below your level, like you could bring yourself down. Although Niall seemed to think later on that he was going to help bring Ashley up.
Which was very sweet, but that just shows you what a nice guy he is. And he's got really great intention and is also extremely fine. I
mean, it kind of like circles right back around to the very beginning of this episode. The first 5 minutes were packed.
Oh, they were the best 5 minutes of this entire cycle.
I was like, oh my god, that like when the top model like promo, like the top model like title sequence started, the opening credits, I was like, oh my god, I forgot that we hadn't seen this yet because so much shit just fucking happened. I was like completely amazed. I was like, wow. All of that, like, we already got, like, they already started, like, building up the idea about Niall feeling isolated in the house because people don't try to communicate with him because they don't really know how, you know, which gave us an excuse to get a nice shot of him in the bathtub.
Being introspective, and I was like, this is the best the Tyra suite has ever looked.
I love this. It's all because Niall is in it, basically.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I was like, have your eyes always been that blue?
I think they have.
You look really wet.
I found some amazing photos of him on Instagram in his underwear. It's great.
Awesome. Please share later.
One where he's grabbing his junk, and it's pretty good.
So, we immediately get some very nice eye candy with Niall, and then
what's her name? Lacey talking about him. So, like, there's something about her specifically being connected to him. And she's talking about how
we got a hint of last week, too. We called Power
Couple.
They've
been building that, you know, and... So they're building this. Niall feels isolated. How can he stick with this competition kind of drama? And then we cut to Ashley, who's like, oh, I do this for my baby. Oh, bye.
It's her...
Girl, bye.
It's her little sister.
She gone. Whoever the hell that little kid is that she's fighting for by being in the competition.
Ming. It's a conversation ender, isn't it?
If you were filming this right now.
The look face, I just got.
The face, I just gave epic face.
Yes, that was very, Tyra would tell you, good job, smize.
Smize, it was natural. You have to feel it, otherwise you won't see it on camera.
But... I mean, that loser edit came in
right
hard
away. I was like, oh, well, now I know who's going home.
Oh my god, you didn't have to think about it. You didn't have to think about it at all. You're like, sorry, girl. It's like, only going to get worse from here on out. And we haven't even seen the opening credits yet.
Yeah, like that already that. And then they already get to talk to the CW woman. And then they get their scenes and they start rehearsing. And
Wait. No. When Devin picked Ashley, I was like, oh, she go.
Because she was part of DMA or whatever.
Yeah, but still, Devin is the kiss of death.
MDA, what was it?
DMA?
AMD.
Whatever.
IUD, what was it? Devin, Mikey, Ashley.
Yeah,
and
DMA.
Obviously Ashley was like bringing up the rear in that group already, and it doesn't seem like a winner group to me. But yeah, so she's part of DMA, so that's why Devin has to choose. He's like, okay, well, my choice.
Well, he was
Courtney.
also avoiding Courtney, which was shade from last week and kind of fucked up on his part.
I'm like, dude, you suck. How is anybody supposed to perform well with you?
Well, do you remember the comment that he gives that's like a little cutaway from like a little talking head segment where he's like, everyone in the house should be paired up with Courtney just so they know how hard it is to work with her.
So they know our pain or something. I'm like,
oh yeah,
pain.
I guess I said the nice version of it.
I don't know if I want to experience the pain of being Devin.
Ugh,
like,
God.
that's a pain I think I can live without.
But I just thought that was kind of just unnecessary commentary from him. He's just really bitchy.
That's his whole persona. That's why they want to keep him around as long as possible. Which they had to work double overtime to do with this week.
I would rather that we get the Devin that talks about losing his virginity in the quote-unquote industry than, like, bitchy shit-talking Devin, because it really does feel like... I don't know. I feel already bad enough for Courtney. I don't want this, like, downer edit on her every episode. Like, let's just give her this week off, which they kind of are... They sort of did. Sort of. But and Usai keeps getting in there with the, like, thin-shaming jokes. Like, I don't know. It's just
he's always, like, you know, right before Devin even shoots, he's like, so I heard you insulted the client today. Good luck on your shoe. Like,
well, I mean, that kind of needed to be said.
It did, but at that moment... Was it that moment really the moment?
Yeah, I know. You're right.
Because, like, I mean, even if it was, it didn't work. Because nonetheless, we're going to get to that later, because we do have to talk about the ridiculousness of, even in the first 5 minutes, Ashley is like, I'm feeling really confident going into this challenge. Like, you know, within a few seconds of footage of her and Devin working together, she's like, I'm really nervous. Like, it's like right away. All before the first 5 minutes, or even before we've even seen opening credits roll. Already she's worried. Already we've heard about her family back home that she loves and supports. I'm like, oh.
I mean, even, yeah.
It's over, Ash.
Just this. You're done, Rock. Yeah, I mean, the second that she got paired up with Devin, I was like, if she was ever going to dig herself out of this hole, she ain't going to do it now. Because he is just a fucking anchor of just a horrible dead... Like, cement shoes is what he is to anybody that comes into contact with him. Thank God Lacey is just so fierce that she just fucking, like...
She totally overcame it in long...
She owned that commercial. Talk about, like, making him the prop, except for his ridiculous delivery. Well, sorry, I keep jumping ahead.
I know, but luckily she and Niall got together for the CW challenge earlier in the episode. And... we were surprised to learn that, like, Niall is now, like, a male Marley Matlin. Apparently, I don't know that level. I don't know if he's going to get to Oscar-winning level. But he's got some legitimate acting chops. Like, he just seemed natural doing it. And, like, incorporating his signing, like, nothing seemed awkward to him. And he said, like, oh, I've actually had acting experience. I've done a show.
Well, as I pointed out, yeah, Switched at Birth. We saw a little trailer for it on ABC Family. Because they have a deaf character, and he played a love interest, which...
Of course he did. Who would not fall in love with him?
How could you not? How are they not still in love? How do you let that go? What are you doing?
I don't know. He must have done something.
He go.
Not from here, though. He is still a top model. And he was really good in that challenge. And Lacey was really good, too.
I feel like, except for Lacey's pronunciation of cosplay.
And I'm like, she's clearly never seen that word before in her life.
Today was the very first day
I don't think she even really understands. Maybe she does. Somebody had... I feel like... No, she has to know. But maybe she doesn't. Where's she from? In Arkansas? Somewhere in Arkansas.
Somewhere in Arkansas that's not the capital.
And they thought that her accent was going to be like, oh, you know, it's going to be a problem because all she'll be able to play is Southern girls. I'm like, yeah, because there's a total dearth of people from the South.
Well, also, they have that Heart of Dixie show, which takes place in the South, so why would
Although I'm not totally sure it's still on. I never watched it, you see.
Me neither, but I love Rachel Bilson.
Yeah, she's very cute.
So...
I loved her Magnum commercial. The ice cream.
just to clarify.
I don't think she was in a condom commercial.
I believe
that's 10 years down the line.
I don't think that's her brand, so to speak.
Change for the condom machine.
You can see their lip liner bleeding into their
mouth
lips.
wrinkles.
Oh, God. Anyway, enough B and 23 references.
But yes, they clearly rocked this CW
But
challenge.
the way that they delivered the script, it was the most coherent.
Yes, it seemed like an actual scene that they were actually acting out for us.
Yes.
As opposed to
everyone else. Oh, Lord.
It was so bad.
It's not even like... I don't even expect you guys to have an acting class. I just expect you guys to not be weird. Is that a weird request? Like, just don't...
I think that's like everybody's go-to. It's like,
don't uncomfortable it up.
It's like maybe they're still trying, like Sharon Needles used to say, when in doubt, freak them out. But
not like that.
That was in the world of drag, and that doesn't quite work in any kind of performance, especially one that's already so poorly written and so over the top, like stupid. Like, then you probably cannot overplay the stupidity for real by not actually even knowing the words that you're supposed to be saying in the scene. I'm like, I don't know, it just seems like you're meeting like the casting director of a network, somebody who's responsible for getting you on this show.
Right.
And you don't even for a moment think that you should try to memorize your lines. Bejo tried and failed because he's like, oh, well, I already got the acting part down, I'll just learn the lines. And then he got on stage and remembered none of the lines. But at least he tried.
Really?
Actually, I don't know. We didn't see any footage of him trying. We just have his word to go on. And he's been telling us he has blue eyes all the time.
And the casting director and everyone was uncomfortable. Everybody hated it. Everybody.
Oh no, I meant like him actually learning lines. We never saw any footage of that.
I thought you meant like the final outcome.
No, I meant like we didn't see him learning any lines. We saw him talking about it, and it's about as truthful as his claim that his eyes are like crystal turquoise blue.
Well, anybody that actually feels like they quote unquote know acting would know that the best way to learn your lines is to run them with another person.
Perhaps the other person you're in the scene with is a good choice.
Yeah, just so you get a rhythm. Because if you're just reading it to yourself, it's just like when the queens learn a song and they're all in different corners learning their part of the song, and then they get together like, why are we out of sync? Well, you didn't practice together, so it's not going to sound good when you come together. So it's just, I felt bad for Hadassah, because she just is really kind of clueless.
And she was hung out to dry, basically. Like, she tried, but what was she supposed to do in response to all that?
She at least knew her lines a little bit better than Bejo did.
Yeah, he just seemed to be, like, making it up as they went along. And they even said, like, he's, like, in a different script.
In a different planet. I feel like he put more time into braiding that singular braid down his hair, which then made me confused about, like, so the prince, the stable boy, excuse me.
Yes,
the stable boy is supposed to break up with the princess for his horse because he's, like, into bestiality. So Beo's, like, weird braided mane, it kind of made me feel confused. I was like, are you the horse? Or do you want to look like the horse? He's a horse
that was turned into a man by a witch. And so that's why he's still in love with horses instead of women.
Is that really the
I just made that up now.
Oh, it sounds so much better, though, than what we saw.
Like, it's just like a little improvement. It's kind of like on Project Runway when somebody adds some hideous thing to their outfit. Like, if you just tore off that stupid hat or that idiotic shawl, oh, look how much better it looks now.
You just took the lining off.
If you just added this little bit, it's in reverse. You just added this little bit to that story, and it makes it
to round it out
to round it out.
Have some sort of sense.
But just have it be about a stable boy who's like a pre-Equus stable boy who rides off with his horse in lieu of riding off with a lady on a horse.
Yeah, and the horse's name was Surrey.
Surrey. Like Surrey Cruise. Gross. Only it was spelled like, Surrey with the fringe on top, Surrey.
Yeah.
Like London, Surrey.
Yeah, I was about to say that. But anyway, everybody said it wrong, first of all. And secondly, I don't know what the whole point of that scene, like they said it was supposed to be a Shakespeare in Love spoof.
It was a something spoof. It was awful.
I can't say. So Bejo might have tried to learn his lines, maybe. But I feel like the other, like, the one person was left hung out to dry couple, well, all of them were, almost, was Courtney and Mikey. Because I felt like Courtney did try, but she was really nervous, so she kept stumbling over her lines. And then Mikey bouncing around the stage and also not really knowing his lines either didn't really help things. Plus, you could tell he kind of hated her.
Yeah, there was also there was that dynamic. There was no actual chemistry to be had, unfortunately, there. But then we got to Devin and Ashley,
Oh, right. Just when you thought it couldn't get any worse.
and then you get there.
Uh,
And that was just epically awful. Like, it was cringe inducing to watch. It was so painful and uncomfortable to watch because, like, even though you don't want, the CW executives being just a tad self-aggrandizing, that's not even pronounced right. I can't tell anymore. Self-aggrandizing.
sounds
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Well, nonetheless, no matter how self-aggrandizing the CW exec was about, like, oh, this is a brilliant opportunity, you will never have this great opportunity again, kind of, like, attitude. I'm like, dude, it's for the CW. Okay, Buffy the Vampire Slayer is not on your network no more. This is really all you've got. I did not care for Dawson's Creek or Seventh Heaven. So, I don't know what I mean, like, it's a great opportunity for a paycheck. I will go with that for any other actor. So she mentioned, but I believe her. I
But I
believe
do
when she
think that
says,
was-
like, people come in here who are really dedicated to
Exactly.
this, and they have to fight a lot to get to this point to see someone like me. So the fact that
I
you
think
were
just
just
in
given this
general,
opportunity
yeah.
and you showed up, and instead of having rehearsed your lines and being able to say them, you just started laughing nervously, then looking at your script every 30 seconds, or not even laughing nervous, just laughing. Like, that was supposed to be your performance,
And he
then
talked
realizing
with
that
his eyes closed half the time. I mean, it really did read as
it was.
disrespectful.
I would be insulted.
It's more or less a job interview. You're expected to all right,
prepared.
Exactly. They do expect you to look maybe down at your script from time to time or whatever.
'Cause you just
and
got this.
there's a margin for error, but you don't laugh your whole way through and run around the stage and, like, fall over and just make a literal ass of yourself. Like, he looked terrible, and being hooked up to him, poor Ashley just got dragged down as well. I mean, you could obviously see it from the
You
rehearsal.
perform with someone below your level, and what happens? They drag you down with them.
Well, since she's been linked up to both those idiots, it's just, like, not helped her
I mean,
in any
she
sort of
definitely
way.
associated herself with them as well. She chose to, and that is unfortunate for her. Because it was just like, oh my god, you just hear the hammer pounding every nail into the coffin. Like, every scene of this episode.
So since she had nothing to work off of, she also resorted to laughing at a certain
Laughing
point.
nervously because it's like, I have nothing else to do at this point because...
And she's sort of, like, I wouldn't say chasing him around the stage, but she's trying to, like, keep up with him, like, doing
just
laps.
trying to still do her lines.
Yeah, and he's just a fidgeter, like, in a bad way. Like, if you're trying to act, which he, I think, said
Like, maybe
he
he
had some
really
experience.
does have ADHD or something.
All I know is that he's not 21. That's all I know.
Nah.
I don't know what 6 agencies he's signed to. I don't know if he's actually been in this industry since he was 15. But I do know for a fact that he can't act and that he's not 21.
Well, maybe he's been reading fashion magazines since he was 15.
That doesn't count.
Well, in his mind, it probably does.
And in his mind, he's also 21.
Which is why you can't trust anything he says.
Why are we trying to one-up each other? He's terrible. He one-ups himself constantly in terribleness.
Without even trying, it seems.
No, he just opens his mouth and you're like, wow, I never thought you could be more annoying. And then there you go, getting more annoying.
I'm like, it can only last so long. He did really poorly in that challenge.
Oh, he got a 6 and he was like, I didn't even know the scores could go that
I'm like,
low.
well, here's just a little explanation on that for you, Devin. You see, when scores are scored from 1 to 10, the numbers from 1 to 6 are still part of 1 to 10, so they can still be used. Just because, I feel like, is this really the first 6 he's gotten? He's been so shitty, like,
I was
the
going
whole
to say, I was
time.
like, I find it hard to believe that this is his first 6,
I mean,
but
but
fine.
he was, like, at the top a couple of times, like, but those were, like, moments where Rob is like, okay, you are just pushing this so that when he's eliminated, it's supposed to be a surprise. It will not be a surprise.
Well, he won Best Photo, like, the first week. Like, the first
Somewhere
photo shoot.
right around there, yeah.
Official first photo shoot.
Mhm.
Post tie-overs.
Yeah.
Right? Or no?
He definitely won a best photo at some point.
Maybe it was right before tie-overs. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. And then he was, like, up at the top during that weird Don't Tell Mom Babysitter's Dead photo shoot with those outfits. Like the space cowboy outfit.
Also undeserved.
That was, well, I feel like that's his peak. That's his mountaintop. That's the best it's ever going to get.
Peak.
Wouldn't you say? I mean, he did pretty bad for Devin, and he's been doing not awesome despite what he tells himself at night.
Well, also what the judges are telling him. They're also telling him that he was doing good.
I think, to be fair, it's just Tyra.
But she loves
a pet project.
At least when we got to the commercials, the end product, she ended up loving the other half of that war, Beja.
Why? I don't get that. And she's like, you see what I did there? I give you a 10. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Oh my God, please. But this commercial.
Lord.
It has got to be one of the absolute...
Well, if we had mentioned, though, before we get to the commercials, Lacey wins the walk-on role. Despite Cinco's play, and she will be on we don't know what show.
We don't know what show.
Do they ever tell us?
Niall was a little jealous because he is the actual actor between the two, but she did have a natural, like, easy kind of charm and chemistry. Obviously, the chemistry that they have off stage,
screen,
whatever, because
but
they
still
were
on screen.
Nonetheless, the chemistry they have outside that scene was funneled into it. They were able to, like, translate it into their scene well in a way that Justin and Mame could not.
Who call themselves a real live couple. And
they really do. And
the CW casting director was like, oh, wow. I would have never guessed.
I didn't see that at all. But saw it with Niall and Lacey, and it kind of, like, carries forward because for the first time again, somebody gets a useful prize in this show. Because Niall's, it was a sign and dine dinner, which I assumed I knew what that meant. We were pretty much right. But I didn't know that it would also involve him being visited by someone from the outside world.
Which was really oddly refreshing. It was nice to kind of see him in his own element for once. And I'm sure it was obviously really great for him to finally have people around him at least try. And I feel like it taught the housemates, like, a little bit of a lesson of, like, maybe they will put forth an effort. I don't think so, but maybe they...
But it was a very sweet moment
twice,
when
though,
they
next time.
asked how to say sorry, and they all said sorry together in ASL.
Mm-hmm.
Rubbing your hand over your heart.
Oh my gosh, and Niall's interpreter gets, like, a gold star this week. Between Tyra's crazy video message to him, where we got to see, like, the way that his interpreter, like, takes some of Tyra's interesting made-up words and then has to, like, make up sign language for it.
Oh my God, this is just great. Every single week. It's so funny,
but then...
we see a new gesture every week to be like, I'm like, how do you...
Boom, boom, boom. Just, like, slicing his own ribs.
He's like, follow the beat. It looks more like the suck it.
Yeah, like, a little bit. But it's just, I mean, his interpreter needs a bonus at the end of this.
He just may get one.
But it was nice that they got
He gets the bonus of working with Niall. Like, also, on that video commercial shoot, I'm like, how do you get the job of the person who rubs, like, the oil and pours the water on the models? Because that should have been my job with Niall.
Production assistant? It's still pretty easy to get.
That is, like, the best PA gig ever. I mean, that's probably it's almost as good as being a PA for Martin Scorsese film.
Okay.
You know, in terms of quality.
All right. But it was nice to see his interpreter and Niall, like, actually sign some real sign language.
Yes.
Instead of Tyra's made-up words. And it seemed like
teaching everyone else.
And teaching everybody else. And it was nice. I thought that was, like, the nicest thing Top Model's ever done.
Right? And it was like, and that's how we knew for
fake,
sure.
Which was kind of nice.
Yeah, it felt like a real moment between these people, which comes so rarely on this show.
It did feel a little contrived when they kind of cut to Lacey. She's like, oh, I'm kind of jealous of his ex-girlfriend from high school. I'm like, girl, no, you're not.
Well, I don't know. I would be if she is, like, getting, because they were laying together later in the episode, too.
I guess so.
They are kind of developing a little thing between them, and I can't blame her. She picked the hottest one in the house. I know.
She is the smartest person in that house. That's why I really feel like she's
going
to go far.
Somebody who has something like some core thing that unites them. Like, I need to get her out of this house. Well, she's only here for a day, thank God. Thank God. And by that time, I will learn ASL. It was nice to
interact with someone that's not his interpreter, that's actually his friend that he's known his whole life.
And she was super sweet. Yeah. And told him how proud she was of him. So they brought his whole little, like, drama full circle and completed it with a happy ending for him.
But happy
like
endings aren't
halfway
for everyone.
through the episode, so we obviously knew that the two competing like elimination storylines, they were like trying to fool us. I'm like, they can't even really be trying to fool us because they totally told us if it wasn't already clear before that moment when he gets reinvigorated to stay in this competition and starts feeling more at home with these people, then you know that like his drama of feeling isolated is come to a close. Meanwhile, the only thing that's left open-ended, big giant air quotes around that, is Ashley's. Oh, I love
red
my
flag
family.
of a downward spiral.
I'm like, you keep talking about your family. You keep working with these dumbasses, and then like by the time she got to the commercial shoot, it was just too
Oh my
late.
God, she was DOA. She looked defeated even before they got there. She was just like, and I'm out. I feel like she knew at like some point between the sign and dine and by the time they get to this beach photo shoot for boom
boom deodorant.
Well, I like Jay Smooth's quote. He says the only funny thing I think I've ever heard him say in the entire 7 episodes that we've had this far.
Smell my fierce.
Feel my boom. That's not something you get to say every day. Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. Good observation.
It's like
take a look around,
not
buddy.
Something you get to say every day, or just not something you
You're
say
in the
every
top
day.
model jungle.
It's all fun and games.
Plus, boom, feel my fears, feel my boom is like actually not the dumbest thing you're gonna say today. By the way.
Oh my God! Like just like
this
like,
whole commercial.
or it was like, smell my fears,
feel
my boom. Boom, boom, boom. You got that
boom.
badass boom, baby. Boom, boom, boom.
There
I'm
was
like,
something
oh
about,
my
like,
God, are they trying to
smell-
hypnotize us?
Smell fresh, and like something about rubbing it on your abs. I forget.
Did they even say
there
that?
were like 2 things that they said. It's like all day strong, all day long, but some sort of.
Oh yeah, where it was like triple action.
Yes.
Boom, boom, boom. They say boom, boom. They say that.
They say boom, boom, boom a lot.
And it's like,
and
okay,
we're still not entirely sure if this deodorant goes on your armpits, on
or your
abs,
stomach, because
or your body.
Because the boom, boom, boom is the six pack.
Is the 6-pack outline on a man's
the defined
stomach.
abs of a male's stomach.
This is a entire vocab word that started 2 years ago.
Was it when she first started doing?
When the very first guys
when
and girls
Will
cycle.
was there.
I thought it was the very first guys and girls cycle.
Was it the first one? I thought it was the one after.
It doesn't matter.
Because I remember her saying that to
Will.
To all of them, and I saw Will like, guys, show me your abs. I call that the boom, boom, boom.
I could have sworn.
And then she had her makeup line, which is the boom, boom stick, so you can create that look on your stomach.
Yeah, I remember that. But I feel like she established it the cycle before
so
that.
it's very established already
Regardless.
that it's a stomach-specific term.
Yeah.
Why is it the name of a deodorant?
I don't know. Also, why would you want a...
Why would you put deodorant on your stomach? If there's any other part of your body that you'd want to put deodorant on, like runners, they put it on the inside of their thighs. They put it on their chest. They put it on their back. It makes sense. Those are the places where you sweat the most. Your stomach, however...
I'm not sure. I don't
see... That's like
Maybe
the
that's
least...
just the name of her men's line, of her cosmetic line, is Boom Boom Boom. I don't know.
It just makes no sense. I'm like, why would you call that...
Well, at least let's give some credit here. At least there's something that they are selling. There's a product.
There's actually a product this time. It's her own product, because they can't get any other products to be associated with this show.
Or does Tyra just want all the quality airtime to herself?
Or, she's just being a smart businesswoman. She did go to Harvard Business School.
Yes, she did.
She graduated.
Yeah.
Summer program.
6 weeks.
She got her degree online or something. I don't know. But nonetheless, she did go to Harvard Business School, and she's learned that,
and the number one rule is sell your own stuff on your own TV shows.
Yeah, use whatever time you have to sell. And she's like, well, this is all the time I have on TV now since I stopped doing my talk show, so...
She has a new one.
Oh, well, then she'll start selling it there, too. I'll
Maybe.
bet you all the makeup for all the guests is going to be Tyra
Banks.
makeup. I think she needs some more Smack My Fat Lash. She needs more Smack My Fat Lash up there. More! Use it all!
We need to get rid of the supply.
We need to buy more of it for
I have
the show.
1,200 boxes of this shit in my garage.
And somebody's got to pay for it. And it's not going to be me. It's going to be the producers of this show.
Ah, there you go. There's the loophole.
They're going to buy the makeup from her for her show. But isn't she
a producer? Well, I guess she would be brokeraging the deal even if she is a producer on the show, of her own show, which she always is. She's a smart business lady. Don't think that she needed Harvard Business School to teach her any more of what she already knew.
Well, I mean, all she really needed to know, she learned in modeling.
I feel like she's been doing it long
enough. Be yourself.
Enough.
Do it all for yourself. Get as much as you can for yourself now at the expense of others. Do it now. Don't let anyone get in front of you. Do 25 go-sees in one day.
Never die. Collect the tears of young people.
Collect $200, pass go, continue.
But do you want deodorant for your abs as a dude?
I don't need any fucking deodorant for my abs.
I feel like maybe it's an Axe body spray
I've got
type
enough,
deal.
like,
We never saw the product in use.
No, we didn't.
Maybe it's a spray like the Axe deodorant.
No, I don't think it is.
You think it's a roll-on stick?
I think so. We didn't see it. The ad, even though they were selling something, the ad didn't tell us.
They didn't touch it. They didn't look at it. They didn't do anything with it.
They just had a
They just rolled around in the sand. And the middle of January.
And lolled around like in flowing sheets on the beach.
Oh my god. That was some like 90s Calvin Klein realness for sure.
But Lacey looked like she belonged in a Calvin Klein ad.
She looked great. She did not let Devin sink her down, unlike Ashley.
I mean, it was almost like she's just like, I'm just going to pretend he's not here until I have to kiss him. And then when I have to kiss him, I'll just make it really hot. And it was.
But she even had the last like eye contact look into the camera before they got away.
It's a natural instinct, I think. She said she did want to be an actress. Like, well, like when I was a kid, I really wanted to be an actress. So.
And then modeling found me.
And it really did. She looks great. But like, although it's just like, oh, congratulations, little me, for making your dream come true.
She's adorable.
So she's got that. Maybe she just has that natural instinct to like, want the camera to look at her. She wants the camera to notice her. She wants the camera to single her out. So she knows to look at it. And knows when to look at it. And I don't know, I think she just got like an innate ability to be in front of a camera. I'm not saying innate ability to model, because I think that doesn't make any sense. But you do have an innate ability to perform in some way, I think. People just have that. They just know. And I feel like she kind of knows, but she's not like all pretentious about it yet.
Which is, she is young.
She is young.
But it was really refreshing to see that she could kind of strip away Devin from a commercial that she was supposed to be coupled up with. Because he went ahead and just made a fool of himself right on his own. And she wasn't sharing any of those shots.
Oh my god, Tyra's like version
Feel
of it.
my fierce bitch.
Feel my boom, bitch. Like, oh my god, that was the funniest thing Tyra's ever done.
Oh lord, she was feeling it. It was really funny.
It was hysterical.
But it's also true. She did a spot-on impression of him because he just... I don't understand what happened there.
Like,
where did that voice come from? Again, his eyes were closed. It was weird.
It was all... Well, that's just him. He is just awkward. And, like, they wanted him on here because he was awkward. For some reason, like, awkward does not automatically equal, like, modelicious, okay?
Well, yeah, that could also be said about Courtney, who had a very uncomfortable eye contact moment with the camera.
Oh my god! It's
so much so that she had to dart her little rat eyes away.
Like she couldn't. Like she would. Like the idea of maintaining that eye contact with another
scared her.
Eye of any kind was terrifying to her, and she had to dart them away. Like she was checking out her lines and what's my line again? Oh yeah,
you even
got
asked,
that badass boom baby. That's my line.
You even asked if there was a teleprompter off screen. I was like, no, I just think she can't make eye contact for that long.
Yeah, I think that it's literally just her general timidness. That, like, I mean, and it was a good look. If she had maintained that gaze, it would have worked.
Just 3 more seconds, it would have been perfect.
But she, like, totally, it's like she broke character. And, she couldn't, like, she was almost scared of not being able to see herself, in a way. It was kind of an odd little moment, but everybody who watched had to have noticed it.
Yeah, how could you not?
Like, who were you giving side-eye to?
It was a close-up on her, too, so how could you not be looking right at her?
Like,
she was
that wasn't
right
the only take. Did she do that every time, or...?
I don't know. Maybe they only had that one usable take.
Well, I mean, I don't know. They did choose a picture of somebody whose face wasn't in focus, so it is possible that they just made a poor decision, because we do have a, modus operandi operating here.
Oh, my lord. we have a complete idiot behind the camera. 2 idiots.
But, no matter what they did, Lacey looked amazing. Mame looked amazing.
Yeah, she didn't let Mikey weigh her down either.
Courtney did have a couple good shots.
She really did. She
that one of the sun.
I feel like
where
after...
the sun shone through, like, between her elbow and her, like, her bicep and her arm, as she was, like, in profile of the camera with the sheet. Like, that little moment right there, everything worked.
I think after
perfectly.
Yusai talked to her, like, he pulled her aside at one point, and she was like, I don't really get this whole acting thing. And he was like, just pretend like you're posing and you're telling a story all the way through, but just don't stop posing because it's not a still image, it's a moving one. And I feel like after that, it kind of clicked for her, or at least the way that they cut it together. It looked like she started doing better.
It was the idea of acting itself that terrified her.
Yeah, she just
so it's like as long as
you
could like convince her that it's like
not acting,
just tell her it's not acting, even though you're telling her to do what you want an actor to do. Tell her it's her doing something else, and she doesn't have that like this sort of terrifying stigma of acting attached to it that's like holding her back or blocking her in some way from actually performing. But I mean, like, she had to kiss Bayo.
But when he was like, feel my boom, like, you don't have abs.
But Tyra loved it.
And you've got a tiny, tiny torso. Or was that, am I just being mean? I don't think I am. I feel like he's got a small torso. I just was not buying that.
I guess it was like the face was like convincing. But the
face was fine, but the body was not working.
No, that's true.
And the hair doesn't help either. I feel like the hair weighs him down and makes him look shorter.
I love that like one moment where Yusai is like screaming and I'm like, it's like, get your hair off your boom, boom, boom. I'm like, oh my god, these are actually like words you're using. Can you imagine how humiliating it must be to like have any sense of dignity left and be on this show and take constructive criticism when the words you're saying are smell my fear. Feel my boom.
No, it would make more sense if it was smell my fear. It's smell my fierce.
Feel my boom. You got that badass boom, baby. Like, I'm sorry, I'm just not feeling that line. Can you do it again? Once more with feeling. You got that badass boom, baby.
And this is exactly why being an actor or a model is something that is not for everybody. How can you just sit there and, like, say this ridiculous nonsense and not be like, really, can I...
And deal with people who are taking it so seriously.
I know. How do you not make any changes? Like, I just don't know.
I say anything but this?
Yeah. I'm going to go ahead. Can I get just, like, an ad-lib one just to make me feel better about all this? You can just not use this take. I
just need
for me, Bayo, like, I did think he was serving good face. And oddly enough, like, the kind of, like, eagle eye shots over him and Courtney like rolling around in the sand actually did kind of work for me. But when he was like standing in his solo shots, like from the neck down, I was like, you look short and your hair makes you look shorter. And you don't have any abs to speak of. So what you're pointing out is non-existent.
Yeah, but Yusai was like, oh, I'm loving such a great cinematic moment. And I'm like, really? You see this in a cinema, do you?
Right?
I don't think you do.
Do you guys know what cinema means?
It means not this.
This is not cinematic. This is a commercial for a made-up product that we can't tell if it's deodorant for your armpits or your abs or if it's a spray or if it's the scent of the fucking ocean. We have no clue. And neither do any of you. You guys are all saying gibberish words.
Now we have to buy it to find out.
No.
Nah.
No. You can take that $14 and do something way more fun with that.
Probably.
And I'm just throwing $14.
It's a burger and a beer at Zeitgeist.
Yeah, I wouldn't pay more than $14 for that boom, boom, boom shit. I don't care what you say.
I want the boom, boom, boom that comes with it.
You want Niall's boom, boom, boom.
Everybody does.
Just glossing over Ashley's... it wasn't a bad performance. It wasn't great.
It wasn't great, but in the end, I don't understand how everything she did was rated lower than everything Devin did.
Right. I will definitely agree with you on that point.
Like, that math does not... That's some fuzzy math. I tell you.
Yeah, it can't even come down to... Usually it comes down to, like, a challenge, the mini challenge score. But since they were paired up together and they both got 6s... I guess she just didn't get... it was tenths of a point apart.
But yeah, because now they've decided to add like decimal points to their scores to make them seem even more official and legit. So like Tyra will give like an 8.9.
Kelly gave a 7.9. Miss
Like,
J gave us 7.2.
girl,
Like,
please.
why? Just give fucking whole numbers.
Like, we know there's nothing scientific about this. Just making it like a slightly lengthier number with decimal points doesn't make it seem more legit.
And I also don't think their mini challenge scores are based on like a 2.5 system at all. It's whole numbers for their mini challenges. So
was it? I don't know.
I'm pretty sure no one's ever gotten a 6.5.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Yes, they're always whole numbers for those.
So I don't know why we're breaking. Whatever. It doesn't matter.
Are we keeping a running tally of their points all season too, or is it just episode to episode?
I think it's just episode to episode. I don't think it a cruise or anything. For what? To roll over into minutes? Like, what did you need these points for? I mean, Tyra only had that one set, the college cycle, where, like, I think instead of points,
it was a scholarship.
Yeah, well, it was, like, money towards your scholarship. But I think
Yeah.
that's what the mini challenge points would do.
And the girl who won is the one who went to some, like, shitty liberal arts school that, like, she's not even doing any real art in.
I thought, what's her face? The athletic one is the one that won.
No, it was,
Laura?
Laura.
Oh, God.
The one who was, like, the daughter of somebody who
A
was
model, and, like, her dad was on Dallas?
Dynasty?
Dynasty! Whatever.
Yeah, she had, like, you know, the fake tan look and blonde
Bleach
hair.
blonde hair. Yeah, I don't think she's a model anymore.
I don't know. I think she's still trying. She's got family money to fall back on anyway.
She's fine. Anyway.
She's okay. Whatever happened, she's fine.
I don't even think about her. I'm surprised I even remember her name. Anyway, points don't matter. It's an episode-to-episode game. Or kind of point system, I suppose. I don't know why we're doing tenths of a point for the photo shoot and not for the challenge. It doesn't make any sense. But it doesn't have to matter because we're selling deodorant boom 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 spray.
Or stick. I'm not sure which one it is.
God damn it.
Know.
But at least Niall made it work for him, even though Ashley was... I mean, if I'm going to critique Bayo for looking short, I have to critique her for looking short because she did.
Yeah.
And I don't... that was like the first time that I was like, ooh, this tie-tie chop is looking a little like Ava's mullet, and that's...
I liked her original hair better.
It just needed
she
to be
did not benefit from her makeover, I don't think.
She just needed a better dye job and like have it thinned out a little bit, and it could have been great.
But not as is. The way it was not working.
Yeah, her Tyra chop. I mean, it's not working on Tyra. It sort of worked on Ashley, but the note that they sent her off on was not high.
No.
It was for that hair. It was bad.
Very.
Oof. What about Justin and Hadassah?
It was alright. Like,
not
I guess,
that memorable.
I'm like, Justin just also does not seem like he's going to make it very far. Unless, like, he makes a complete 180 and becomes interesting. I don't see
He had
him.
one line tonight that was interesting.
No, they probably fed him that line. I mean, it wasn't even that complicated a line. It was just repeating a line from the script.
Right. I guess what was just funny was the irony.
Yes, true.
Which I'm sure was unintentional on his behalf.
Like, yeah, that was it. That's all he's really offered, other than calling himself Jay Smooth.
I mean, that's just his nickname. Is
that
insight into his personality? He doesn't have any, but he's got that boom, 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 baby.
But you got that badass boom, baby.
God damn it. It's such a bad commercial. And then when Tyra says, wait, was she talking about Lacey's? Yeah, she was talking about Lacey and Devin's commercial. She's like, that looks like a high-end commercial. I was like, so you were aiming for low-end this whole time?
Is this a surprise? Isn't that what you wanted?
Oh, my God.
Well, she had to be surprised if it actually came out of the work from that photographer.
Well, it's her bang buddy. She should know what he's capable of. I guess she does, and that's why she was surprised.
In the bedroom.
No, I guess she did sound genuinely shocked that it turned out as good as it did. I hope she, I don't know, did some, like, weird BDSM on him for having a fucking out-of-focus picture.
That's probably what happened. At least we can only hope.
Which explains why all of his photos are now in focus again.
Yeah. You're not going to do that again, are you?
Whose house is this? Tyra's.
This is Tyra's house.
How did we not talk about Tyra's jumpsuit?
Oh my god, the jumpsuit. This was like one of the worst ones. Yeah, and she's been like all over town in these jumpsuits.
I know.
She was on Fashion Police, even talked about it.
Oh, they
They were
did?
when they did their Fashion Week roundup.
I caught like the last
There's a
half
shot
of
of
it.
Tyra going to a show in another one-sleeved, like, one-armed jumpsuit. Another one.
She has to have a jumpsuit line coming out. How does she not? Why does she keep wearing them? What is she hiding? Loose change!
I think what happened is that one season when she did design them all herself, she probably designed like 3,000 of them. And then she's like, okay, well now I have to narrow it down to 12 for this season. What am I going to do with the other 2,988 jumpsuits I've now designed? I guess I'll just have to keep doing it. So I think she just brought it back this season. And she's like, well, I got to use these. I couldn't throw them out. They were too good. They were just too good, but they didn't work for cycle 17 or whatever cycle it was that she
Lord,
did.
okay, we gotta. But this one, I mean, you even questioned my use of the color gray in this jumpsuit.
It was like elephant gray. It was a good description.
Okay, and the highlighter yellow and the shoes.
The shoes
But
that
the
were,
collar-
and not only that, the pants were so long that the shoes were barely peeking out from under them, and it was like this.
Thank
little
God they were pointed, or else we wouldn't have seen them.
The little tiny bit of highlighter yellow in the shoe
But
to
the
match.
collar on the long sleeve part of it, it was like puffy.
Oh yeah.
It looked like it looks like the
Like
collar
part
of
of-
like what a stuffed animal's jacket would look like.
It was very
It was
bizarre. And then the
so-
other
The sleeve
shoulder,
even looked long. It was too long for her hand.
she forgot to have it tailored, I think.
Oh, Kelly Osbourne would be all over that.
Oh, Kelly Osbourne doesn't have a career anymore. and praise be to the Lord for that.
Oh,
but
I agree.
nonetheless, yes, she could definitely have used some of Kelly Osbourne's tailored work.
Her definitely eagle-eyed tailoring critiques that I do
Would
not
have
miss
been-
on Fashion Police at all.
No, it was so much more entertaining without her.
Oh, it's so much better. But anyway,
But like, yeah, like
it
she
didn't
really
even
needed.
fit right.
Didn't nothing. It was so off. And then on top, I was like, is she intending for this weird like duck bill shoulder pad highlighter yellow colored to be poking out from underneath the strap over like the sleeveless side of her jumpsuit?
I don't know. I don't understand. Like who? I don't know a single even ugly designer that would think of doing that to a person.
I don't know what she was thinking.
She must have eaten some really good mushrooms. Been like, these designs are gonna change
Or
the
some
world.
really old sushi.
Or yeah. Well, if you vomit after you design something, you shouldn't wear it later.
She probably thought it was the sushi.
I'm. Props. Oh Lord, that was just an exceptionally bad jumpsuit, and we've seen her.
Where's some bad ones?
Oh Lord, also had like a weird football. Like maybe it was just like the shoulder pads had like this weird football vibe to it.
They're very Joan Crawford in a way.
And she did do the fierce, like Joan Crawford voice when she was imitating Devin. So Tyra even had her own little private arc just within that
did.
judging panel.
That came full circle. I still don't know if we're ever gonna reach full circle with Miss J's hair.
What was up with the weird knitting
It
brooch?
was well, not just the knitting brooch with the knitting needles, but also the hair in the back
That
was
looked
a
like-
ball of yarn
yeah.
formed into a bun.
Oh, was it really a ball of yarn?
It looked like a ball of yarn.
I thought because of like the way that his hair's been,
Like it's been
puff paint,
colored.
spray painted.
Like it looks like he has yarn braids.
Yeah, so I thought that it was
Because
just
they made the
of,
ends are like frayed up there near the hairline. They're like that.
I just assumed that it was just like his braids
like
dyed.
Raggedy Ann's hair or something.
Oh.
But he's actually like forming it into different shapes, and so today he went with the knitting.
And so
theme
he just
full
had a ball
on.
of yarn for hair, but not a literal ball of yarn.
I don't know. I can't tell.
He could have
It
just
might
bobby
just be a
pinned in that
really
shit.
excellently executed effect on the hair, or it could have just been the hair was rolled up and then they stuffed it into
Pinned
a
it
ball
underneath,
of yarn that it
yeah.
was pinned to the braids, which I also, because of their color and their it's like the way that they're made to look, I'm like, is that also Miss J's hair? Or is that some weird yarn extension they've added in for his look this season? Like,
Either
I
way, we
almost,
are disturbed.
I know, like, remember this older cycles where he would, like, wear an extra collar every week of the
Oh,
show,
yeah.
so by the end it was, like, some giant, like, Elizabethan
Thing.
collar.
It was like 15 layers deep.
Yeah, and then there was another season where it was the hair, where I think the hair got bigger every week or something.
Well, and even last cycle, he had like a different. He took his wigs into different time periods.
Yeah, that wasn't very successful because they were not very well distinguished at
Not
times.
all wigs are created equally. Some wigs were better than others.
But this, I am not digging this, like, yarn hair theme. This, like, whatever it is that he's doing with his hair, I'm not feeling it. Kelly has only got one look.
Yeah, it's all black. Fucking.
It's all pale skin, flat, stringy black hair, and black clothes.
And probably a black hat. But to just go back to Miss J for a second, did you agree with his critique about Mame and how she relies on being a pretty girl for stuff?
I don't know. I feel like we have to see another challenge because what we've seen has been really good so far. But like we have to
I do
see
feel
if
like
it's,
she tries. Cause
I feel like she tries.
His main critique was that she doesn't try, that she like relies.
And I don't know that that is true.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe he was trying to say something different.
But I did notice something odd in the interviews for this episode because in that one scene where towards the end where they're talking about Justin and her being a real couple, and she's like, I do see myself falling in love with him. Her hair is flattened. And she's wearing a completely different outfit and the backdrop looks totally different. And I'm like, where is this interview where she's talking about falling in love with him from when she has flat hair, like long flat hair?
Yeah, I know. It did look completely different. She almost kind of looked unrecognizable almost.
Like her makeup was like a more professionally done. She was better lit.
And maybe it was a pickup shot.
Because
I was looking at the I guess we can call them a cast. The red carpet photos of this cycle's model testants at the premiere.
Yeah.
And I was actually trying to find Mame, and it took me a second, but her hair was straightened completely like that shot, and she just looked completely different. Like her makeup was done differently, like you said, more professionally done. Her hair was very straight, and she was, I don't know, she was wearing like a little black dress, I think, in the photo, and so she
she looked awesome with the straight hair.
No,
too.
she looked fine. She just looked different, and it was
you
just
could tell.
You could tell the passage of time had taken place.
So I'm like, okay, this is like,
and
from
also
top 3.
from that group photo of all the model testants from the cycle that happened at the premiere. It was her and Justin were like off to the side, and Justin definitely had his hand around her waist, and they looked very coupled up. So I think that they're probably still together.
Well, good for her.
Yeah, no,
They're going to have beautiful babies because those are two beautiful people.
Some adorable Blasian babies.
Oh my god.
I think somebody used that hashtag, like the tweet that they used in a scene with Mame and Justin like kissing or holding hands or something.
That upsets me tremendously, but I think that they will have
it was a hashtag.
beautiful, beautiful children. If they ever got married and had kids, they would have some like really fierce kids that could totally role modeling, I think. Their features mixed together, like, ooh.
Oh yeah, I'm just trying to think about how boring being married to Justin would be, though.
Well, I feel like he'd probably get into a solid profession and make a decent living and save up a lot of money and let her do her thing, because clearly she's the more talented one in this field if she wanted to continue pursuing it.
I think she will, and she does. But I think that, to your point of the, I think I could see myself falling in love with Justin interview. I think that was maybe like a pickup shot or something that happens way later down the line.
Which means she sticks around for a while.
We already knew that. Her, Lacey...
Just confirmation. Sorry. Just confirmation.
Her, Lacey, and Niall were the top 3. I think from this episode, I think they're going to, in general, be the top 3.
I think so, too. I think those are the only 3 that really give you that vibe. You don't get it from anyone else.
No, everybody else, you're just kind of
Courtney,
waiting for them to get eliminated.
You feel has, like, got a natural look, but her timidness and her shyness, and I don't think that's going to go away.
She's got to
soon.
overcome a lot of stuff in order to
personality-wise.
Unleash her true potential. Because she does have potential to be a model. She has the look. The hair looks great on her, but she doesn't have any confidence or anything else to back it up. It's all pretty 2 feet deep with her. And I think she even acknowledges as much that she needs to work on her confidence. And that's just something that you can't do on a reality TV show when the name of the game is like tearing you down and making you look like an idiot.
Yeah.
So we'll see. It really is, I feel like, a lot of just waiting for people to just get ticked off at this point. And those are the 3 that are going to be in it till the end. And I found it really kind of sad when Courtney was like, if I could just make it to the top 3, it'd be great. I was like, oh, girl, I want that for you, but I know that's not on the cards.
It does not seem like maybe top 4.
Maybe. I'm thinking maybe top 5. Maybe you can go to a different country and at least experience
she'll
that.
At least get to go. I think she'll make it. She may make it just long enough to get to a different country. But, know.
I guess Tyra has gotten rid of the whole comeback series cycle.
Yeah, that's not a thing anymore. She hasn't mentioned it once.
Well, I guess if they got rid of social media votes, then...
That's the only way those people came back was through the social media vote.
Who are we kidding? It was through Tyra's goodwill that they actually came back. If she wanted them gone, like she wants them gone now, she would have done it a long time ago. And I guess she's just starting to not feel like it anymore. But I know that girl loves a good twist. So I wonder if she will... kind of do some sort of like, I'm bringing these guys back for like a redemption photo shoot, and then you guys all go to Seoul, Korea, and eat soul food.
Maybe it'll be like they did on Drag Race this year, where like they brought them all back to compete in a challenge, and whoever won the challenge was the one that got to come back. Mm-hmm. Maybe she'll do something like that, just to spice it up a little bit.
That would be fun.
I felt like this episode was plenty spicy.
You did.
I really liked this episode. I had everything.
Even though we saw the end of Ashley from the very beginning.
Well, I mean, I wasn't really emotionally attached to Ashley.
I would agree with that.
I felt bad for the story that she had to share repeatedly on this show.
And I cannot believe this is the first time she's ever talked about it.
Well, I guess once the floodgate opens,
Yeah, but very peculiar venue in which to share this for the very first time.
Oh, can you imagine how much... But it was possibly this was like part of the deal of getting on the show. Oh, well, you're going to be on, but you have to talk about this. This is going to be part of the show. We're going to create a story around it. You have to say it as often as possible. Anything that happens is going to remind you of this moment. Because we want a lot of footage of you talking about it so we can edit it in.
Well, if Unreal taught me anything, that's probably most definitely true.
I have a feeling. That's just how they are. In my experiences with television, briefly, that's very much the case. They kind of pick the stories that they want you to tell, about yourself. They want you to pick the ones that make you seem more vulnerable or likable. They don't want you to appear heartless. But, I mean, they're not really getting that kind of footage from Devin, which is possibly another reason why he stuck around so long. They haven't gotten anything, like, emotionally, like, deep from him in any way. So I feel like the moment that does come through, we'll know that he's going home.
You think he's got something more tragic than being in this industry since he was 15?
I don't think he has anything tragic, but it'll be something about...
missing family.
Whatever it is, whatever emotion he actually expresses that feels genuine. Once he expresses a genuine emotion that's not self-love, then is the time that he will no longer be on the show, I believe. I feel like it's a safe bet.
I feel like I give him 2 more episodes.
I know, I feel like it could be next week.
I even feel like he's on borrowed time.
But, like, also, Courtney seemed to be having a difficult time in the preview for next week. Because she is wearing some sort of weird Lady Gaga-ish
her weird, like...
mask.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
Headdress combination thing.
Yeah,
and,
but it's got, like...
looking utterly like a lost child being screamed at for not...
It's got weird, like, steampunk brass metal adornments on it as well.
It's studded.
It's weird. I don't... something about dolls is what I think I
Yes,
heard someone
they're dolls. Say. And Hadassah even said, like, oh, I have so many dolls at home. I've been collecting them. Or
what
something
a
like that.
Creepy
She's like, this
pastime.
is like the perfect challenge for me. Something like that. Like, she's like, I have like over 100 dolls at home or something.
Yeah.
And it was something like that. And I was like, oh, but I'm guessing you're not going to be doing that great. And it looked like Courtney was having... But you know how they edit this shit together. It's always like, hey, we're going to pick the one moment where we show her having a problem, but we only showed that because we wanted to show where she came from to be super awesome in this photo shoot.
I'm just glad that Courtney was spared the bottom 2 for 2 weeks in a row, because I feel like that would have totally broken her.
Yeah, it was the D and the A.
Yeah, Mikey's shocked face to see the two of them, and both of them in the bottom 2 together, was pretty priceless. I mean, he looked really surprised that this could be something that could happen. I'm like, have you not seen this show or any show where people get eliminated? This was bound to happen.
Alliances never work on this
So
show.
maybe
buddy.
you should, yeah, this isn't Survivor. You don't use alliances in the show. That doesn't do anything for you.
It doesn't.
If anything, it spells certain death for everybody in this so-called alliance.
Only one of you is gonna win in the end, anyway. So you're gonna have to betray.
And it's
that
definitely
alliance.
not any of you three. If you guys even thought you were going to be remotely close to the top 3, I hate to break it to you. But the fact that you've even made it this far is very strange. But I guess people are just shittier than you guys. But now it's getting kind of closer to the middle of the end.
Yeah.
And y'all are going to start getting cut. So maybe Mikey was rethinking being a fucking asshole to Courtney this whole time. And just to everybody in general. Now that his weird tribe is getting smaller.
His tribe of 3 people.
Yeah, cult. That's not even enough people for a cult. It's not enough people for
No.
anything. It's not a fantasy league. It's not
It's like
shit.
that.
It's barely a brunch reservation.
Like it's like that Far Side cartoon. Remember it was the one. It was like the.
Yes, I remember the famous desk calendar.
It was one of them was the international I didn't like Dances with Wolves club meeting, and there's only 3 people.
The movie's terrible.
Well, yeah, but it won a bunch of Oscars and everyone loved it. So it was like
At the
one
time.
of those. It was like one of those
I get it,
beloved
though.
movies.
And
like you were clearly in the minority if you hated it. So there's only 3 people at that meeting because everybody else thought it was great. And it's like the way they dealt with the Buffaloes was ridiculous. That was all faked. Yeah. And like stupid shit. Like it's kind of like that's their club. Nobody wants to be a member of it except them. So when any of the members go,
yeah.
they're not even like Harry and Ron and Hermione. It's not even like that cool.
Oh,
kind
God.
Of trio.
No, not even close.
I mean, Mikey kind of has Lucius Malfoy's hair. Long, straight, blonde,
It's
flat
so
hair.
stringy. It's just... Ugh.
Well, it looked good when they conditioned it on the
That
tie
one
over
time
day.
in the tie-over day, and it hasn't
But
looked
once
good
it went
since.
back to him being in charge of it, then it was no
It's-
longer so good.
It was no longer washed, I think is what you mean to say.
Ugh. He loves his stringy long hair. It's very Florida.
Yeah. Right now, a liquor store is missing its liquor store robber. I don't even feel like...
Gatorland is missing its wrestler.
What else could he possibly do? I don't even know.
Well, anything in Florida. It's a big state.
Someone is missing their meth dealer, I think is probably the best analogy for him.
Yes.
He just needs to go back to Florida. I don't think he is long for this competition.
But they all love him. Well, sort of. They've been getting over
I don't
their
know.
love for him.
Tyra gave it didn't sound like negative critique, but he didn't impress the casting director or any of the casting execs at CW.
No.
Kelly looked kind of like huffed and puffed about his performance and how he like kind of bounced
He probably
around.
stopped returning her text messages when she asked to have sex with him.
You want me to take your picture tonight? That's
Ew.
Kelly.
No.
She looked a little miffed with him during his audition? Whatever? His terrible scene reading with Courtney. And then his shoot with Mame, you could see him physically shivering while they were trying to like make out and be sexy on this beach while waves crashed on them.
Yeah, Tyra may be crazy.
And then Tyra made like a really weird analogy about getting stabbed in the arm with a needle while getting fitted for a dress. I'm like, how? What couture house are you going to?
Well, for a show, if you're being sewn into a dress or something for the runway kind of thing.
Stabbed in the arm where?
Like with a needle. Like,
Yeah, no, I know, but what are you doing with your fucking arms or you're getting stabbed? Like, put them up.
No, she's like pinning a dress on her.
Oh, I just imagined it to be sleeveless.
I mean, I do think it was an unfortunate choice of words to be like, to have like, getting stabbed in the arm with a needle. Like,
For a fitting. I
needle
thought
in
she was
your
going to
arm?
go into like a doctor analogy. She didn't go there. But then again, she zigs when you think she's going to zag, and she wears one-armed pantsuits when you think she's going to dress like a regular person.
We never want that anyways, really. That's not what we watch this show for. Mm-mm. We watch it to correctly predict the elimination of sad girls like Ashley.
So do you? I think Devin's probably. Do you
He's
think he'll
pretty
go home?
close.
You
I
think
it's
he's gonna go
be
home
him
next
and
week?
Courtney in the bottom next week, maybe. Unless that little clip is, like I said, a trick, and she like gets markedly better immediately after that.
I feel like
moment.
there are so many people hovering around the bottom.
Right there, it's a real nest of failure down there.
Yeah, it's just filled with people, though. It's just a race
There's
to the
so
bottom.
many people that you like know are not going to win.
It's very obvious, this cycle. Like,
I feel
no
like-
mystery. I mean, I know we've been watching for a very long time, but it's just like consistently for the last 2-3 weeks, it's been Mame, Lacey, and Niall in the top 3.
And they're
or
all
just doing really, really well.
and they're all pretty well placed in that final image. You know, the last picture.
Right?
where
I
the
was
people-
just thinking that.
like not
Because
usually
when
the person,
Ashley disappears from the photo, I was like, wait, where was she?
But Niall's like usually the person right in the center doesn't always win, but that's actually been wrong a few times. Sometimes people right in the middle do win, but they at least last a while, because he's got like actually a better pose right in the middle, and I feel like Lacey looks amazing in her photo too, and Mame does also. They really are the 3
They
best ones
stand
in that.
out in that photo.
So
I don't
just-
really I remember Courtney a little bit on the side, so maybe
Yes.
she is going to be in the top 4.
It's possible.
But everybody else, you gone.
Gone. He gone. She gone. They all gone.
I don't know what better note to go out on.
There isn't one.
Well, you can always read our top model reviews on gambitmag.com, and you can listen to this podcast. Well, you're probably either listening to it on YouTube on the Gambit digital page, or you, like a smart person, have subscribed to us and you have this downloaded to your nifty little podcast app every week whenever it goes up.
As well, you should.
You can follow Gambit on Twitter, and you can follow me on Twitter at MarkSheWrote.
And me on Twitter at Samir Raculus.
And until next week, we bid you a bye.
Bye.